Devices in a bait setup right now at Sandbag. Will he get spotted?
Seems so. Rush is going to clear his corners thoroughly. Glaive retreats back to the CT cross as we see the grenades start tumbling onwards. But then there's that response. The smoke out from Astralis is meant to really disrupt the T's. We'll see whether or not they can still manage to get past, and so far so good. Zipex can't hit a headshot while Rush grabs 2, and it's a 4v2. With low health on a couple of Cloud9's members, Astralis seem to want to walk away.
No two ways about it. Not an easy thing to do whatsoever, to be able to push into B versus Astralis, a set they love holding. Automatic will be able to potentially flank here as there are 2 CTs corralled up in both Library and CT spawn. And Automatic on the crouch peak is able to take out Dupree, leaving just Magus to try to collect the scraps if possible. And he'll replace his USP, but he's got a few more T's coming for him.
Yeah, they want this. Ooh, whoopsie daisy. Rush walks into the line of fire, goes down with the cause.
A small flub at the end.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's Cloud9 with a pistol round on the T side of Inferno versus the #1 team in the world.
They got to be feeling good about it. That yeah, and you can't really water that down. That's pretty much what it was. A really good take versus a really strong team. Cloud9 here are going to be playing with Golden. I'm not. When's the last time they played with Golden? It's been a number of months at this point. So this is interesting. There's also csgo, who we just failed to talk about completely. Coming into the lineup as well. That is something interesting. There's so much to learn about what this team will look like with this match in particular. So, a couple of nades here on the anti-eco to the top of Banana. Magus is going to spot 3 and fall back. And the nades exchange hands.
What I would like to see throughout this map and just throughout the first few days of Cloud9 as well is to see whether or not csgo can continue with his clutch performances. He's a very clutch player, and that could bring a nice element to Cloud9, a team that's looking to minimize mistakes. They're going to have some sort of structure put in place with the small amount of time they have had to practice. But if you're looking at Golden for your leadership, and you've got csgo bringing in clutch, you've got great rifling and automatic and rush, and it's not even mentioning Vice. But alas, frag grenades have really chewed up Cloud9 this round.
No, they've done a fantastic job. They were so patient, so composed. They made it seem like they threw all their utility and then waited a little bit more and then got a kill off of it afterwards. Something interesting happening on this round. Not all of the money has been spent for Astralis. They have tapered their income a little bit. They've got 750 on one, a few $100 remaining on the class players, and have also gotten their upgraded pistols and grenades as well. But now Cloud9 have opened up Arch and are now able to wrap the site. Dupree will be the last man to hold Device from the top ropes, though.
Ooh. He's waiting back. We're at that 20-second mark, so there's still a small margin of error here for Cloud9 to play around with. But Zipex gets the butt of the man on Arch side. Now Automatic clears Apps. That's a big play. And Zipex, I mean, he very, very easily could have dropped down Golden, but didn't quite finish off his kill. Imagine had he done so. You've got Rush planting the bomb on just as little HP. This bomb site could have been so easily cleared, but it still could be. He knows Golden's there based on the reload, and Zipex has now got himself into the bomb site. 3 kills and a bomb to get on top of. He's going to pull the goose egg. And Automatic. Automatic's not going to go for this.
A tap. Wow.
Of course.
A 10-second stick.
Of course Zipex pulls this out of nowhere.
Oh, Automatic comes in right at the last second, but it's not enough time for the safe plant. I'm not sure if Automatic knew it was safe planted. He was playing all the way around the corner and didn't decide to peek, was terrified at the presence of the clutch master who came in for the 1v3. Of course he does that at the second round of the tournament.
I feel like this is that classic situation where you ask Zipex, why do people fail clutches against you, right? And he doesn't understand why. He's a good clutch player. There's no denying that. But you've got to wonder if there's an element of like, guys, it's Zipex in a 1v3. Be careful.
Of course.
And then you see Timothy Taw play so passively there.
Doubt.
And again, does the bomb plant play into it? We don't know. But you know one thing. Clutching versus Zipex shakes you to the core.
Well, I think when you're Zipex, at this point, everyone's scared to play you in a clutch situation. They don't want to lose another clutch to Zipex, and that can cloud your decision-making, even though what needed to happen was pretty simple. And the funniest part was Zipex didn't have a play there. The only thing he could do was stick a full 10-second defuse. The only thing he had going for him, though, is that the bomb was planted in the safe position, and I don't think that was communicated to Automatic. Otherwise, he maybe would have been a bit closer, but even with that amount of time, almost came in for the spray down. Nonetheless, Astralis are able to pick up the second round in devastating fashion. Cloud9 will have to go back to the drawing board. They do have a couple of AKs here. MAC-10, Deagle, and P250 on the last 3 players, and they're going back to Banana.
Whoa, ballsy charge from Glaive. He's going to get himself trudging along, and then actually gets Vice from beyond the grave. Molotov goes a long way. Into the 4v4 immediately. Automatic, one of two AK players nearly finds an additional pickup, but he'll take a frag to the face.
Man, that grenade just frisks the corner of the wall and then does full damage to Automatic, sitting on Banana. And the CT's going to juggle the rotates a little bit. Device going to take contact here in Malls. He's got that off angle, and that's why it's so valuable. You think, why would you expose yourself when you can't escape as easily? And it's just so that you aren't going to be cleared. And if there's only going to be one guy coming at you, you've got a significant advantage. Now, at the top of Banana, there might be more schemes brewing. 3 of the T's left over seem to have decided they're going to take this site.
What I like the most about Device's play there is he had just been tagged by a Deagle as he was holding the left side of the hallway. And instead of falling out into balcony, which would have been such an easy play to make, like you see, exposes himself. Goes for the threat, just like Golden will towards B. Takes one to the head. That's Dupree to get him close, but Rush, nice trade frags again. He's going to open up this B site. He did it in the pistol with a 2K, and he's done it once more. But it is Astralis even keel, and now down by 1. Magisk, with an MP9, Molotov retake, is just going to call this quits. It's Cloud9 to bounce back into it.
Insane. You'd think after the last round they'd be shook, but they clearly aren't. Stayed composed. Really fantastic entries from Rush. I mean, if he doesn't get those kills, both of them probably, there's not a round to win. Nobody can get in position to watch for flanks. Automatic doesn't get a kill for free. The final piece of the puzzle, Magisk, could come in nice and early, get comfortable in cons or something like that, and the whole thing is delayed. But instead, Cloud9 steal it back, so they grab the third round. It's 2-1 now. They've retained 2 of the AKs, the only 2 AKs they had in the round, and so therefore they had minimal losses in some sense. Not a bad start here for Cloud9. Rush is a player that people were calling to maybe get cut, honestly, in the last month or so. I've seen some rumblings on Twitter, and I'm not going to say they're justified. I've always seen a really insane player in Rush. I don't understand how you'd replace him, especially with the remaining talent pool in North America. But they were just at the very minimum that calls to question maybe his performance as an individual, and it's clear he's answered some of those questions. He's looking very, very strong at the moment. So what's the play here for Cloud9? Do they go back to Banana once again? It looks like they do.
Vice just braces himself in the corner, and then they frag him right back.
Okay.
Return fire. The artillery shells dunk down. AK fires off. Rush is going to exchange some damage here with 3. And we get an additional Molotov, both clearing the cubby on Arch side and the deepest corner of Porch. Then Cloud9, well, they're going to go stagnant and just hold their line.
So what adjustment will we see? So low on the pistols. Magis is the only one with an automatic weapon. Well, I mean, unless you count the CZ, which I guess you should. Device is here in the halls, scouting out information. He's not going to see anyone lighting smokes, but he does see someone holding for the halls push. That's not actually going to say a whole bunch. I had the thought to go scope out Banana, and Magis will find a good opening to kill Automatic. Still 4v3 in favor of Cloud9, though.
Slight edge to that smoke. Going to give Golden a gap to work with, but we also have Magis now rotating around from the B site. So Astralis, they're putting themselves in a prime position, just like they did when ZipX picks up that 1v3. Looking to crunch down onto Cloud9 when they decide to pull the trigger on this hit. Now, there is only one Arch player, so I mean, we're going to get a moment where Magisk versus Rush could very well tip the scale into the favor of the CTs. Now, the bomb site players, they're revealed, and it does fall down to just Dupree alone. Ooh, man. Almost lines up 2 more bodies, and in that 1v4, does still bag himself a double.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, that was a good last kill. It was good on Cloud9 to just go for the peek instead of the bomb plant. They know where the last person is. He's locked on the site. He's going to sit there, pray that he hits a really nice shot, and that was the play that Dupree made. A good recovery from Cloud9, even though, well, first of all, they started the round really well. The HE counters to the top of Banana were fantastic, and then the rotations were strong from Astralis, but Cloud9 still prevailed, and I think that's the important part of it, is they're not getting shaken up at the moment. So it's full pistols here for Astralis, and yeah, they started with a long pistol, economic game of chicken, and now we're back to basics. Still a lot of action early on Banana.
The side strafe drive-by. It's going to pop the melon of Magisk. Poor Vice has been just peppered, whether it be by frag grenades or this time spam deagle shots. He's constantly low on health.
That's the lay of the land when you're the Banana player. You know you're going to take a certain amount of damage. Device does the same thing on the T side, which is kind of interesting considering how valuable he is as a player. But you know, doesn't necessarily mean because you're in that spot you aren't undervalued, or you are undervalued instead. It just means that you might be the best player to kind of take on all of the pressure from the CTs, even the flashbangs, and be able to win fights with low HP. And that's a lot to put on a player like Vice. It's just new into the team, but it may be a comfort zone for him. So it looks like Cloud9 have picked the correct site to go to. Motosmoke will come out, and Astralis are here, scratching their forehead, wondering where all the Cloud9 players are.
They've been playing very much in unison, I feel like, on these A hits. You know, even when Zip picks up his clutch on the entry, Cloud9 were just shoulder to shoulder. And you can see the respect they're giving Astralis, even in these anti-eco rounds. Like, we've had the same setup now 2 rounds in a row where you've got 2 players to the base of Banana and 2 on top mid, anticipating Astralis to go on those kinds of, like, information expeditions. Like what we saw, oh, there it is, with Device getting caught on Balk. You know, looking for some kind of a setup, trying to figure out what Cloud9 are up to in these very silent mid-round situations. But they're doing a good job of masking themselves and also succeeding on the execution. But now the job gets that much harder. We've got guns back in the hands of the Danes.
Yeah, they've gone. It's, you know, the start has gone swimmingly for Cloud9, but it's rifles versus rifles again. Automatic isn't going to go ahead and upgrade that MAC-10, so we'll see how they weaponize him in this round. If it's going to be another banana play, but with him in front, and he has gotten what looks like one of the better spawns. Here he is, nade in hand, comes out, pushing him all the way to the top of banana. Maybe through the Molotov. Yeah, he does, but he just gets melted absolutely. Nothing in return. No player behind him. No map control to speak of. It's a fast round from Cloud9. They're already working on halls.
Yeah, a bit of a suicide run there to open it up. Glaive shaves down the first. Magisk and Dupree gonna lock down apps. So the banana entry doesn't work, and neither will Balcony. Dupree towards mid has Golden in his sights, but Golden still responds with at least 1 kill here for Cloud9. Magisk gets his head back down, but a missed grenade could arguably have just kept Golden alive for the time being. Still cleaned up once Zipex emerges, and we have Astralis with their second round.
You can see the thought process with the MAC-10 to top of Banana, because it was a gun he didn't want to upgrade. He said, hey, probably this is an adaptation strat. We know that they're going to have guns, but I have a good spawn. Let me try to use this MAC-10 to the best of our abilities, and then we'll make it a fast strat all around. You know, Golden called for Fnatic. This is the kind of style he's brought into the team, so they decided to work on halls and mid at the exact same time. I think if the entry falls into place on the balcony, maybe they get something going, but apart from that, no pick control in sight, and every other player was lingering behind, I guess, because of the initial presence on B, and that slowed things down a lot. So there's that first kill. You know, nothing comes of it. Glaive is going to be on full alert, but Magisk holds his position. It's not a hard shot for him to hit. He just has to make sure he's ready for that kind of pressure. And there is a world where Astralis aren't, and they are up on halls, but they're not watching the door at that moment. Maybe they're thinking about nades at mid because they think Cloud9 are going to come back to mid late, and that's what Cloud9 were banking on. But today they weren't gifted with that, so it's now Astralis with 2. They won a very dominant rifle round there. They've saved quite a bit of money, and Cloud9 will have to decide how much or what they want to buy. They have enough to get anything that they'd like. If it's going to be an op, we'll see.
This is currently a tech pause, of course, folks. It's not Cloud9 cooling their jets just yet. Audio issue with what looked like Cajun B. I saw the headsets off. You know, he's not giving up just yet.
No.
Doesn't want out.
Why would you?
Just 1 gun round.
Of course not, yeah. That much tilt that early on, that's a bad sign. That's a red flag.
That's one of those beautiful things that I don't think Cajun B really has about him.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, I don't know him personally.
He seems too old to be too finicky. He's too old to be fickle, I want to say.
Right. Happy to see him land on his feet.
Yeah. He's a Spice Lord after all.
Is he?
Well, I mean, it's Kate.
Okay. Oh, hey!
So, you know.
Sorry, Mo. That's
okay.
That one went over me.
Sleeping today. It's fine. Very low on the list of difficult issues to deal with. Voice issues. We've been here before.
Yeah. We know.
We know.
TeamSpeak, not a problem.
Not a
Headsets,
problem.
not an issue.
No.
Monitors can be a problem.
Sure.
Steam can be a real pain.
Yep. That's up there. I'm just curious if Automatic is going to op. We know he ops.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Cajun. I guess. I mean, why else? Why wouldn't they pick him up if not to op? So maybe he's going to be dropped 1 from the richest man on the server.
What's wild too is, like, you know, there's a lot of players like that, and I feel like you know, prime example would say be Tabson for Big, and you could say Automatic as well here for Cloud9, where it's like they're such a great rifler that when you see them pick up the op, you're thinking to yourself like, why
Sure,
bog down this individual? But and this is where I think Automatic deviates from Tabson. I feel like Automatic actually eventually convinced me of the role. You know, he became a very good opper. And
a lot of people forget, the only reason Device started opping was back when Fetish was on the team, and he was like opping, but then Device picked it up. Device was the most fantastic rifler on the team. He was still the star player, but a conversation for another round potentially, as we're already into this one. Again, a lot of banana presence, which is so important. We see that come in and be a big factor time and time again. Vice kind of at the head of the snake right now. Two players lagging behind him, behind smokes as well, so not a lot of support for him if he does die. But there's no one from Astralis who are going to give him that much of a hard time just yet. Although, yes, no, Xyp9x flushes him out of position, and he's still comfortable taking the shot. Goes ahead, makes it a 5v4 early, but a great trade grenade from Glaive.
No surprise there, right? Astralis and frags. We had this discussion the other day where, like, should frag on the backstage stream where, should frags be nerfed, should frags be buffed? Well, when they're in the hands of Astralis, they almost seem better than anybody else. Knows their angles, blows him out of the position, and now it'll be up to Automatic to try and avenge his fallen comrade. Very cheeky play by Glaive to just take the place of the corpse, but once the smokes fade, he wants out. Falls back into the site as a solo player as Golden gets footing towards mid, but this is very much that arch to B pinch. Gonna be crucial Golden stays up here, or else it's just gonna be 3 players slamming their head against the wall at B.
Ooh, what a bait. Nice and simple. He's opened this up.
Yeah.
It's a clamp down on the B site. One player here at Spools.
They know that as long as they keep Golden kind of in this pinch, that they have the rest of Astralis sectioned off, but...
It's gonna clear some of the angles for him, and then he can actually stay back. They've still got to identify the person in the site. Not a lot of time here to get a plant. Glaive doing a good job already.
6 seconds left, and he stopped it. Glaive's gonna do this. 1v4 on the bomb site, and Golden has no time. Oh, what a god. Just so sick.
That's great. I mean, he did it off an audible cue. The spam through the smoke on the default. It looked a bit raunchy. There was a moment there you'd think, all right, the bomb's going to go down, but he finally finishes that kill and then gets a third and stays alive. What more can you ask?
Wow.
What a monster. That's crazy. Cloud9, perfect strat. Golden does all the work. Opening up Arch.
What's wild from that as well is once Golden took Arch, you saw the other A players not react in the slightest.
Well, yeah, what can you do? If someone takes Arch on you, you can't rotate easily.
Clear call. Like, from that moment onwards, Glaive knew that he was tasked with that solo B defense. 4 players come at him headstrong, and he shuts them down.
Oh, Vice doesn't look very nervous right now. He's hitting shots. That was a pretty good deagle kill onto Device.
The reaction, though, to pre-set up to help Magisk. Not even needed.
Man, what a round. There's a lot to unpack in there. It was, pretty fantastic. There's no flash assist in the kill feed. I'm not sure if that's enabled right now.
It's because flash assists are replaced by damage assists, and Vice had hit that same player. So Vice gets a flash assist, but the kill feed will show you the frag.
Normally I look to my nerds in the chat, but apparently I've got one right beside me
who knew this whole time.
Fantastic.
Whoop, but try as they might, that bomb's not going to get any closer to the site. Vice. Whoa, this guy's been eating nades. Finally gets to dodge one, but he can't dance around those bullets. Magisk and Pit will clean it up, and that is Astralis tied at 4.
Yeah, so just like heading back to that round, the only thing I could think was when that Arch player was taken out, when Golden got that kill, he could have stayed there, and we can see everything on the minimap, but he could have stayed there in CT spawn, held the rotates, told his teammates, maybe you have to worry about a banana flank later, but for the meantime, go into the site without me. Then they have more time to clear things out. They could be a bit more careful about it. Maybe Glaive doesn't get all of those kills in that situation, and that's honestly the only folly about splitting B through Arch, is that how long it takes to get from CT to B. It really burned a lot of their precious few seconds off the clock.
Well, burning their precious health as well. These Molotovs doing great work. Vice tagged up by frags again. And yet, Astralis have not found a 5v4.
I love how adamant Cloud9 are being. They clearly have done their research on Astralis, and I mean, I don't say that lightly. To get away with pushes like this is not easy to do. I mean, they're sneaking Vice up there, but they're using the proper supporting grenades, and they're winning top banana quickly into the round. The Vice gets an opening kill, though. That can shake things up dramatically.
Jurassically.
Shake things up like a dinosaur.
We said Glaive was a monster. Looks to chomp down on the remainder of Cloud9. They're here. and one will fall through smoke. Dink comes out from Glaive again. Despite being blind, he's done damage, and Zipex gonna make the most of his teammates' efforts. Now falls on automatic. 1v5. CT's already boxing him into the bottom of mid, so he tries to escape down T-ramp, and he can't even do that. Device omnipresent. 2 pickups on the op that round.
Something you don't want to see is teams going through smokes early if they don't have to. Sometimes you do it as a gamble. I mean, smokes are not walls, and for that reason, they shouldn't always be respected. It's always good also for the other team to know that you might come through them. But in this situation, it looks like it's a bit too early. There might have been some grenades left over they could have implored, and instead they forced the situation. I think once Device had got that opening kill, they decided to rush things a bit when they could have slowed it down. I think their job at that point was probably more so to delay or try to bait utility as opposed to take the site early, and they might have skipped a few steps there.
Good chance to pick up at least that 1 kill, but we've got the rest of Astralis just surrounding Cloud9 at the moment, so not letting them get their paws on any weapons. It was pistols once more for Cloud9, and it's Astralis now on fire.
I'd like to see that because it shows us that even though the scoreline's so close, that it's really been Astralis just be the stronger team in these last few rounds. Last 5 specifically, and now after that 4-1 scoreline, it feels like so long ago. Cloud9 were doing well. They've really got to try to get back into things. They've been doing a good job on Banana, and that's where I will give them a lot of credit. I feel like it's not easy to shake Astralis off of taking it and holding on to it, and they have been doing that. It's just the rest of the round now that they've got to kind of piece together, and they can't forget how close they came on that Arch to B split.
Correct. Or even, you know, their conversion in the second round.
Sure.
We've had a 1v3 and a 4K bomb site hold, so Banana control, there's a plus. Mid-round situations have been made, just never really seem to be closed out.
Yeah, and that's going to be the deal with Astralis a lot of the times, but for Cloud9, just try to make as many rounds happen as possible in this half. You've already got a good start with 4. Yeah, this is the first blast in America, but we have another one coming up on July 13th in LA.
Yes,
that
sir.
Should be really cool. Haven't seen a big Counter-Strike event happen there. It's normally the iBuyPowers, but nothing extremely major. I think this will be by far the most premier event to take place. Should be pretty amazing.
City of Angels.
And so, it's quiet on Banana. Astralis are tired of taking damage early. They feigned presence, but they've given it up finally. So Vice's job has now become easier.
Right, took 10 rounds, but Cloud9 have got what they wanted, a little bit of free real estate. I like this double app setup. Look at it work perfectly. Sure, Magus takes substantial damage, but Device draws Cajun in as he attempts to trade, and they didn't even lose 1 body. So we'll have Cloud9 once more trying to get into this B site, but it's going to have to be straightforward. We've got full A control, entirety of Arch. There's a minute left if they want to reset, but they have no idea whether or not there's already players back behind them. You can see automatic wary. So Golden will spend his time trying to get eyes into the site. Utility goes down, Glaive rotates round, and Zipex holds above, but looks away just as Vice decides to cross. However, jumping automatic will cost him. Vice gets back 1, but only 1, and his teammate has 7 health. With Dupree having eyes past coffins, it's going to be very difficult for these Ts to get any footing forward, and as you see, they fall one after another. Golden tries to escape. He wants that precious op, but he's encapsulated by Astralis as they continue on fire.
An okay attempt. Gotta say, Astralis posting themselves up in the halls was an amazing play for them to do. Maybe because Cloud9 took Banana so quickly, there was Astralis who actually funneled them into going for other map control early on. Not assuming that they would go for a full-on B take after taking top Banana control might be a great call from Glaive, and it makes sense if that's the case, because we have never seen Cloud9 go to take top Banana control and execute in the site immediately. So pretty smart stuff from Astralis. Where did Cloud9 go from here? We've got Glaive now hopping at mid. I don't know if he's going to give this up, but it looks like he had a good spawn to work with.
Yeah, Device has got one too, so there's that double sniper setup here. Second sniper prying down Banana. They go from 0 control of Banana in the previous round, and the first time we see this like aggressive 2-man app setup, works fantastically. And now they shift that sniper aggressively towards Banana. He's going to see nothing, so that's why we've got the justified 4-player setup for Astralis on A. The pistols of Cloud9 haven't seemed to work, but they've got a little bit of footing. There's still 3 sets of eyes from Astralis just clamping down on this. And it is Rush alone. He's got armor, CZ and an AUG. but decides to play the sidearm and will find nothing for it. Glaive pays his respects, pistol versus pistol, and he'll still pick up his headshot.
A couple of shots go wide for Glaive, but it's okay. He's got enough support there at Arch to make up for it. Lane was the optimal place to take, but Cloud9 couldn't know that. There was only one person there, and he ended up rotating around. So now we're rounding out this half. It's 8-4 for Astralis. They've picked up another eco win. We're going to go back into rifles, one of Cloud9's last chance to prove that they can finesse a round out of Astralis after being played like a fiddle, honestly, in a couple of these previous rifle rounds. Again, banana control positive. Keep going for that, and then try to build. But it's Astralis to move down mid quickly, and Magisk, you will get traded out. So it is a 4-on-4, and even though the play was egregious and aggressive and resulted in a kill, it was a kill that was answered back.
Through the flames, he tries to catch one, and he's drawn in perfectly. Rush is going to punish. And that's now a man advantage up for Cloud9. Not a position we've seen from them all too often. Glaive rotates into Arch, and not passively back, but rather adventurously forward. Caught by Automatic. Not anticipating Cloud9 to be so aggressive, and I would understand why. You know, there have been multiple times where Cloud9 really hit the brake on these sorts of mid-rounds, but this was a swift execution. They moved all of their pieces towards the A site, and nobody fumbled the ball. 4 players up, nobody even losing much health. This is a great 5th round for Cloud9.
Yeah, I like how you characterized it. They made their moves, they moved up quickly, and every time they were done with a bit of map control, they kept moving forward, wasted no time, and we're never actually taking that big of a risk, right? Automatic was up in Cubby, but that was only after taking top bracket with his team, knowing that they got Magisk down just before then, and then just waiting patiently for a very sensible rotation from Astralis. So now it's just Xyp9x, 1v4. He'll probably win this round, and we talked about it for years, but I don't know how he's going to do it. Time is so low, Connor.
I think he might. He's already done it to them, you know, and you can't bully your coworkers, so he'll let them win. No, he's just going to run in.
Is he going to try to kill him?
They're ready for it.
You know, I don't mind it. I think, you know, you don't expect someone to come bombarding up lane in a situation like that, so that's good. Always being creative. That's what you've got to try to do. So now that's Cloud9 to take around very confidently. They get on the site, they get all the kills, as we talked about already. Good play from Automatic. Good on them to be alert when there was an aggressive mid play by Magisk. And if they can deal with those threats right away and always remember what their overall strategy is, as well as all of the things that could go differently, then you'd you know, wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of success. There's still a chance here for a 7-8 half for Cloud9, which would be more than fantastic in my opinion. Magisk is just peaking over 108 ADR. Dupree closely behind at 98, and players on Cloud9 they're around 80, which I would consider, you know, good. And then 3 players in Vice, Cajun, and Golden, which have a failing grade in ADR at 54. But you know what, Vice had hit a couple of really nice entries in this game, and you have to give him credit. He's also playing a position where you take a lot of damage.
It's one of those moments where, you know, scoreboard comes up, and I'm kind of surprised to see him only on 5 kills with Golden and Cajun, because some of those 5 frags have been very impactful as he cracked open Banana. This time, however, going to just trudge through smoke, and Glaive, who was already further forward, will find him. Now Rush explodes out from Boiler Room. Dupree spam damaging through the smoke, will not pick up an extra kill, and Rush already has eyes around Arch, but can't hit the headshot towards Pit. Magisk given ample opportunity to shut this down. However, Dupree is going to be fully exposed to the flank. He's actually found a little bit of cover here. The timing didn't work out for Cloud9. Despite their best efforts, they did clear Pit, but Automatic down in his 1v3. Dupree just dances around the boxes in the pillar, keeps himself alive. Magisk giving him great cover, because there was a moment there, a window of opportunity where I think Cloud9 could have steamrolled that bomb 100%.
Site. You could see how badly Rush wanted that kill. He chased it with a wide peek on Arch. He knew that the Pit player was out in the open for a moment. He missed the first shot, but he kept chasing it, going for those taps. 2 taps, 1 tap, and couldn't finish the kill. If he got Pit control and they wrapped the site that way, it would have been an early round. Really hard for Astralis to rotate in from that, and a lot more pressure would have been applied to Dupree, who did a fantastic job staying alive.
Wow, they charged through the Molotov. That's just bad-mannered. Like,
that's a party foul.
Yeah. However, Automatic will exchange. Where's that kill come in from? Must have been Banana. Yep. Him and Vice working their way forward. This is going to split Astralis 2-2.
That this will be interesting. 4v4, last round of the half. Could be 6-9 here for Cloud9.
They've had success on these B entries.
That is very true. Let's see if they have to go through a smoke. If we're counting grenades right now, Magis doesn't have anything to work with. The player to help him has got a Molotov, which is huge, but it's a minute left. They could easily bait this out, work into the site. If Xyp9x is really patient, they could throw a smoke on if they want to.
There's that last Molotov out of the B defenders. And Magic's position is good for 1, 2, and the reload will cost him a third, but Xyp9x gets one in exchange. Golden, last to remain, will just go straight in for that plant. He's got the bomb down, goes for the cover, back behind Stewbox. And Magis, oh, the smoke's faded. He loses his bit of cover, but the headshot's there. Nice tap. Finally gets it in. 2 CTs left, one off of Banana spotted. And however, he can't manage. That's a 10th round for Astralis, 5 for Cloud9, 4 of which come in the first 5 rounds of the half. So a very, very smooth turn of affairs here for Astralis. They're going to have a bit of a pause in the halftime.
Yeah, and so what can we talk about with that half? I mean, on that round, that was a nice attempt at the clutch. You saw that nade trajectory was on point for Golden.
Yeah.
There was a chance there for the last kill to come out. I mean, could have seen that being one. Going into B, I'm just trying to remember, like, the way that Magisk and Xyp9x had to fight for those kills. Like, there were so many awkward angles they had to deal with, and that's a sign of a good team on T side. They're pushing you into those fights. And yeah, they get 3. You know, that's just the site hold you need. It's not the one that you can expect unless you got the best players, and they deliver that, and they do it over and over again.
I was trying to think of like the pivot rounds within that first half. You know, those moments, the big plays that kind of shifted momentum back into Astralis. Because it's one thing to come back in a half. It's another thing to just reestablish yourself and never even make it look close, right? And that's what it did. So I immediately think of, obviously, Xyp9x 1v3 10-second defuse in the second round. We get that beautiful round from Glaive out of nowhere on the B bomb site. 4v1, makes it look easy. Okay, time was on his side. That's undeniable, but that's the beauty of it. He played the clock. And after that, I think it was just smooth sailing. We had Astralis picking up a lot of frags through smoke grenades. You know, the one change-up where I think kind of could be brushed under the rug but shouldn't be is when we had Astralis go into the double apartment setup where they drew Cajun in for the trade. You know, we had that 2-man setup between Magisk and Device out of nowhere. We hadn't seen it yet. The first time Cloud9 go heavy into apps, and they get shut down by an Opper with Magisk, who fall back into the 5v3 no problems. So
yeah, it was awesome. The adaptations there from Astralis were on point. It looked like, you know, they're pushing their advantages of an experienced team to be like, okay, yeah, it seems like you've done some research, young boys. Okay, yeah, you know how to take banana on us. Cool. Okay, we've got our playbook runs way deeper than that. So they go ahead and come out with a simpler adjustment, playing in halls. It's a total bait setup. If they saw that setup, they might have thrown nades if they saw that setup, obviously, if you're Cloud9, but naturally you'd think you could still maybe win those duels, and they didn't expect 2 people to be there. Wouldn't have peeked out 1 by 1 if they knew. What's
the biggest thing that you would give praise to for Cloud9 after their consistency in taking banana control? So like that's the big one for me. After that, what do you got?
After that, it's the only thing I can think is the entries were pretty good. Like it felt like they were hitting shots, which is just, I mean, it's a point that you can't really analyze, but it is something that's extremely important in a point-and-click adventure like Counter-Strike. You ultimately have to kind of deliver the finishing blow by getting the kills on the B site. So the entries were there, and just the entries on top banana, as well as some of the HEs that went back and forth.
Yeah.
There was situations where they actually outpatience Astralis, threw their grenades back, got a kill where Astralis couldn't, and that's not something you see very often.
Right, that's true. Eh? There's a lot of teams who may try and just take the challenge and out-aim Astralis, and at certain points can. But how many times have you seen teams out-utility Astralis?
Never.
Exactly.
Almost never.
And even in this half, I mean, I'm not going to give the edge to Cloud9, but there was a glimmer of hope. A glimmer of hope there.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Now, I don't know if they could have done more at A, potentially. There was execs where they tried to play those rounds really quickly, and that was, I think, 2 rifle rounds where they attempted the arch wrap or just split on the site and failed pretty much immediately. So if they potentially slowed that down, they could have done a little bit more economic damage. Maybe they were going for the gambles. Maybe it was the plays that Golden thought would be the best. And sometimes when you see teams going fast towards A really hard site to take, it's because they're assuming that the CTs are playing 3 on B. And then once they can abuse that, then it's an open site with a hard rotate back. But we're into the second half now. And it's 5-10. Astralis well in the lead. Pistol rounds could try to slightly even that up, but they'll certainly be relying on if they want to make this a long game.
We got anything special here? We've got the CTs with a single kit smoke. Heavy utility actually coming out of Astralis. Oh, I would not want to be Vice or Golden at the moment. There's a lot of players and a lot of grenades about to be barreling into this bomb site. They'll smoke off CT cross and try to screw with coffins, where Vice does fall first. Now, Golden's playing pillar. No real cover in that position, but he will still manage to pick up one. Automatics fast rotate in. Not going to be able to blindside them either. So it's the bomb plant in a 4v3. Now, there's a kit down on coffin. Remember, that's where Vice died with it. Easy to retrieve on the retake if they really want to try and hammer this home. And I feel like a 5 to 10 disadvantage is a good time to try and throw a Hail Mary in the pistol. So Automatic will creep and crawl his way forward, but Magisk forces him back. A couple of shots off the Glock is an intimidating force, and even more so once they hit their target. Now, csgo's responded with one of his own, but there's a second. The first time Cloud9's players can get more than one kill in a lifetime. But a 1v1 versus device is never an easy day.
Not bad, not bad. I do think that the thing that's at the forefront of my mind with the B site holds is the confidence for the CT side. I think it's going to be the scariest thing, especially with new players, to be like, all right, you two need to hold the site. There's going to be rounds where I need you two to get 3 kills, and if you don't get those kills, we won't even be able to rotate and win a retake. So that amount of pressure being put on Vice and the newly returned Golden, I think it's going to be a lot to deal with, and we'll really see how well Vice is adapting on the fly in this matchup, as he's going to be one of the 2 players to hold. Now, we saw how the experience and excellence of Astralis shine through on their B site holds. We could compare and contrast that with the way that Golden and Vice are going to be playing their round. A bait here, though. Vice goes ahead and delivers 2 kills to Golden. Basically a 1v1 at the end. And he makes it 3. The bomb gets dropped at the top of Banana. And suddenly, it's a round that Cloud9 should not lose.
Yeah, Automatics even slip past Dupree, who will catch him in the back, but finds himself 1v3. Not the best place to be, and yet, Rush is just in front of him. Rush is going to fall prey to this. Haha, and the clutch is on. Minute 10 to play with. They have bomb control Cloud9 towards the top of Banana. And unfortunately for Dupree, he hasn't upgraded past this Mac 10, while Golden's retrieved an AK.
So here's a point in the round where you start to sift through your options. Look at the time on the clock, how many nades you have left over, how many CTs are here, and then you try to think, what are my options? He's got enough time to run all the way around if he'd like to. And with Dupree scratching his head, I wonder if he is going to come back. Yeah, he's got another smoke, so.
Okay, cool.
Ahead of schedule still. 40 seconds left over, 2 players up. He's maybe assuming now the CTs have rotated over, otherwise he'd be watching his back. And from here, the bomb is in the smoke, but the smoke is just let up, so a chance here. He can recover that.
Yeah,
they don't have a counter for him.
No. He's going to underhand the flash.
Oh boy, they've got to make a trek all the way back to the A site, and they aren't sure if he's collected it quite yet. They don't know if he's going to re-aggress as well. This makes things a whole lot more tricky. You can almost certainly see a bomb plant going down at the very minimum.
This is that 1v4. He's got his bomb down in default. csgo already has eyes up, so they know the player's not in pit.
Is he going to go back around through halls? There's a chance here. Dupree has to take a risk. The 1v2's only got a Mac 10. It's planted for him good in halls. The 2 CTs are going to come up. I want to know, is he going to assume that there will be a fake defuse? Will he be able to get the first kill? 1 kill probably means 2 in this situation.
Right. csgo has head armor. Golden doesn't. So that AK falls to a single shot off this Mac 10. It's csgo to tap the bomb the first time. There is no kit in the situation. Dupree is doing a fantastic job of buying time, drawing them inwards. Now that's Golden, who doesn't have the helmet, but he tries to get the diffuser first. And he's managed. He's managed the clutch 1v4. Oh, Astralis have done it again. We want to talk about pivot rounds. Dupree is just dancing around them.
That is so ridiculous.
A literal head scratcher clutch.
He actually...
like he gets back for the smokes.
Man, he played that so well.
Damn.
They waited for him to use their smoke so they could smoke Banana. Or I don't know if it was a response, but if it was, I mean, that's where it's the most genius. And then he went back to get another smoke so he could make the play to retrieve the bomb. Just kind of dove in there, the QB sneak. Took it back and then won the 1v2. No chance. That was crazy. Really smart stuff. And just with a Mac 10 the whole time. Didn't even have to shoot, ultimately.
Right, exactly.
Showed his body to get the bomb plant off. After that, he could have died, simply. Without even spraying, and he still would have won.
It just scared them long enough. for Cloud9 to make the mistake. And he just gets to bask in the glory.
That right there is why we watch Counter-Strike. Really cool stuff.
And we're going to have Astralis working their way forward. Not intimidated at all. I mean, compare this to the pistol rounds we saw from Astralis' CT side. You know, Cloud9 buying so much time, setting up in middle, playing patiently, forcing players out with all utility. Astralis don't have time for this. They've got round 2 to think about.
I think about these rounds where, like, even this one just disappears, right? It's a round where everyone's just scratching their head thinking, oh my god, I can't believe I just witnessed that. Think about if you're Cloud9, you're rocked. You're like, you were expecting to win that round. You're thinking about how you're going to spend your money next round, like how many gold chains you were going to buy, and all of a sudden you've got, like, you can buy like a pair of worn out tennis shoes. Like, you get it changes your mentality so much. I mean, that's kind of the situation you want to call a pause in. And in this situation, I guess because they were saving, they were like, screw it, let's just write this one off, play this round out, see how it goes, and then move on to the next one. But they can't just be giving them up at this point.
Device is still going to fall after Magis.
Whoa, Golden got one in the back before. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Clean stuff.
Give a shot.
B-side still always open for business. We saw a very confident take from Astralis there. I think that was actually the pistol round, so less utility in play. And Golden has had a fantastic hold there once before, so I might be wrong about that. Cloud9
still had 3 smokes on that pistol.
Yeah, so it's quite a tactical round in general.
For sure. Most certainly.
So it's a three rounds here, and Astralis will take the games. 13-5 at the moment. Automatic is on the op, so it's not Cajun to be opping, interestingly enough. Though he does have an AUG, which sometimes feels like a hybrid. I'm sure he could put it to good use. These are all staged up in alt. For the most part, Cloud9 win banana. They use a lot of their grenades just in case, preemptively. But the smokes are coming out of mid.
Yeah, trying to predict that log's position, but there is most certainly no one there.
Look at that smoke. It allows them to block off Arch for anyone at the corner, but then allows them to also move up if they need to.
Keep that bit of vision. Now it is blocked off by Cloud9's smoke. They've drawn a rotator from the B bomb site, which is going to leave Vice alone. And we talked about the pressure he has on him just being a B site player. We've seen him actually trying to support Golden as opposed to being set up himself. In the pistol, Vice walks through smoke to draw attention away as Golden taps the headshots. Same as when Golden's hiding behind the sandbags on Banana and Vice is drawing them in. So he's been the setup player, not the star. And yet this time, he will have to try his best Glaive impression because he has the entirety of Astralis about to come sprinting for him. Golden doubling back now, and possibly Cajun B. A little slower, but still there if needed. Vice is going to have an angle above, but doesn't get anything for it. Golden even punished the moment he comes through smoke, and Cajun, well, he wants none of that. He is gone. Just like this 19th round. That's the 14th on the board for Astralis, as Cloud9 still sit on 5.
Dude, they came at them hard and fast. They went for top banana control, top mid control, knocked that out in about 40 seconds. There was almost no resistance from Cloud9, and then they went ahead and picked the B site. That is the most classic T side round from on Inferno that you could possibly see. This kind of round you dry run, and because there's no resistance, it's exactly like your dry runs, which means that Cloud9 could have been called to maybe put some more pressure on them when they were taking points of interest. But at the end of the day, it's maybe not as easy when you're in the server as a CT and thinking about the fact that it's Astralis coming your way. So Astralis, go ahead, grab that one. And it was a 2 entries down after Cloud9 did gamble stack towards A with the 4 players, but then quickly moved back. So there was a small window there with 1 kill came through. Maybe they could have had the rotates come in just in time to stop the rest of the execute, but that wasn't the case today, and that's because Astralis were diligent.
Doodly diligent.
Yeah, I was going to say vigilant, diligent, yeah.
Doodopty
14 up for Cloud9, 14 rounds for Astralis, only 5 for Cloud9.
9-round advantage is looking huge. Wider than the Grand Canyon. And Astralis are already to the top of Banana so swiftly. Now that smoke's going to give them a huge gap to work with. Golden, wow. Playing chicken with the players on the top of Banana. But this is good grenade damage. Glaive's down to 1/4 of health. Terrorists only now finding their footing forward, but Glaive takes the high road. And Zipex will drop Vice. Golden still up, still has a chance, and he will nab himself a 2nd kill. Gets around the smoke as well. He's playing within this bomb site blind. Here's the planter, who now has a headshot advantage. Zipex is going to make the most of the pit position, clears sight, and will now most certainly plant the bomb. So the retake's on. And Dupree is already tucked behind tree. Magisk back on Banana. They are going to clear this most certainly. Automatic instantly gets that kill. So man advantage up and utility in abundance for Cloud9's retake attempt. Zipex is going to take a more aggressive angle. Magisk ready to swing out if needed. And they are going to try to spray them down, but it's Cajun to come out on top just barely. 20 health the difference as Cloud9 gets 6.
Very smart about the angles they cleared, especially with Automatic come to clear tree. That was the first kill that made things happen, pushing into the site. We're smart about how close together they were. Made sure that if an angle was peaked, 2 players could deal with it. And yeah, they win the round. Now, I want to say that even though Golden died, only getting a single kill, he did make a lot of good decisions in that situation. Once he was pushed back over spools, I saw, you could see how his mind was working. He pulled out the incendiary grenade, but a lot of teams, a lot of players do that. But you don't have a good angle to throw your incendiary crouched behind coffins, and sometimes throwing it is just a waste. So he holds onto it, jumps back on, goes for the repeat. I thought that was a smart play, and then doesn't waste too much damage spamming through the smoke on the bomb plant, and called out that it was a fake.
Oh my god. Not even given a chance. Golden just wanted to walk away. Device draws him in, puts him down. And now we have Cloud9 facing a 4v5.
Not the best spot to be in.
Not when Astralis already have 14 and an abundance of players starting to work into this A site.
Wow, they pushed through Arch. Called that out immediately. Glave's got CT control. Look how fast he's moving.
Caught though. Automatic. Despite having that op, is going to swap over to the P250. Clears the Arch player, so now you've got 2 guys here on porch, and they're gonna go for the boost onto the rooftop. These smokes are gonna cover it well, but Dupree has the presence of mind to keep his eyes up and above. And Astralis now going beyond. Have dropped it to the 4v2. Automatic clearing close corners once more with that op. Will catch out Dupree again. Now it's Device's turn, and he will respond to the favor. Device, just the FAMAS, not going to get anything further. Astralis have found 15.
Wow, that was nasty from Dupree. How could he be so aware of the porch boost? The reverse boost happens so rarely. Maybe he reacted to it and was able to see the CTs first, but he was definitely quick on that one. And probably a reason that they won. Now, it is going to be potentially the last round of the half, and Device had a round and a half. He had 3 kills there, and yeah, it looks like Dupree just quickly reacted and instantly hit that headshot. Automatic was smart here at the top of mid with his AWP, but then Device, again, 3-piece here to almost close things out. They've got enough utility. They don't have the best guns ever. They're still in this, potentially. Cloud9, 6 rounds, and a bunch to go. Clave's gone ahead and taken top banana quite quickly, and that's been a focus of Astralis, getting map control fast. Automatic will answer back, though. And maybe killing Zipex is going to be a telltale sign. They've also got a lot of mid control.
Yeah, Dupree's stuck in the hidey hole, and Automatic will get away. Automatic, I mean, that one takes a big set. He just walks straight down middle, finds the apps player. Now Cajun's going to try to re-aggress. He's already out through T-apps. He's clearing alt mid, but bomb's been retrieved. So by the time he finds the flank confirmed, it will be Astralis hitting this B site. Cloud9 are happy with that. They've got 3 players on site, shotgun included. Fantastic damage as Golden drops Glaive and takes Dupree to 5 HP. 45 seconds left on the clock. Completely boxed in as Astralis here on Banana. But the smokes still hold until now. And as vision's regained, the bomb site remains firmly in the hands of Cloud9. But for how much longer? They've got this crossfire with the CT spray down. And Vice just made noise by firing this ump, so they know. Look at Magisk just hone in on him. He wants that 1 kill, and he cannot find it. It's actually Vice to keep himself standing. A very good chance that he drops Dupree as well, but no. That is that answer back. Dupree, however, so outnumbered, and even time plays against him. The plant fake draws out no peek and no further kills. Cloud9 with a 7th, as Astralis still look to close this out.
They play it nice. It's insane how much damage that Golden is doing on Banana. If you look at his ADR, it's actually quite low. He's in the, I think he's just around 70 right now. It's actually, no, he's up to 78, I guess, after that round. Gets the mag 7 shot. I mean, just skeet shooting here on that first kill, and then another dink through the smoke. So he has had pretty considerable impact. I think that helps out the hold quite a lot. And then Vice does a fantastic job of delaying. Thought he kind of fluffed it by making that noise with the UMP at quad so early on with such a weak gun, but he plays his position well, and his team supports him with a good amount of utility and flashing. Magisk is taking way more damage than he realizes right now. He's focused on his crosshair. and that might be the death of him. Another nade comes soaring his way, and it does. Vice goes ahead and finishes off that one player. It's 4v5 once again in favor of Cloud9.
Wow, since the end of the half, that grenade kill and Vice's previous kill from Nubox are the only two he's gotten. Now he's nabbed himself a third in the half, up to 8. But grenades go both ways. Golden no longer looking so good, but neither are Astralis. It's a 2 versus 4. But I love to watch Zipex and Dupree work this together. However, it's down to just one man alone. Down he goes. Automatic with Cajun's help will get Cloud9 in 8th.
Not bad.
Here we go.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
I thought the B holds were going to be the most precarious. I thought those would be the shakiest. Instead, it feels like that's one of the places where Cloud9 are the strongest right now. I mean, even for a lot of the other top teams, like losing B to Astralis is normal, and then losing the site is even more normal. And it doesn't seem like that's as much of a problem for Cloud9, who are comfortable playing back with 2 players, doing a good job of getting that damage in all those tiny windows of opportunity that the CTs have to deal with. And Astralis a little late out of spawn at the moment. They're picking up some grenades, just trying to put together an eco win, and or just get some damage off. But it doesn't seem like they're going to win the game this round.
props to Golden here as well. When he finished the half, he was right alongside Cajun and Vice, and now he's already surpassed Rush, in fact. So he's just on the heels of Automatic. You know, we always have those players who seem to come online once they are against the ropes.
Yeah, for sure.
Golden seems to be one for the moment, but
kind of a fourth quarter all-star. There's Automatic, who's also been making a lot of heads-up plays at mid, being very aggressive, working alone with the Mercenary, and still coming out on top. Rush, the very consistent pit player, goes ahead and puts one together. Device just barely dodges the nade, and Golden goes ahead and takes Device out. So could be another confident anti-eco win here. Automatic will clean up the scraps. Now Zipix with the CZ, all alone. 40 seconds up, and I'm gonna have to wonder how he'll pull this one off.
Ooh, if you guys are just tuning in now, we've just got ourselves some new viewers, Launders. A fresh batch joining us here on the C stream. What you guys are watching was Cloud9 in a 5-10 first half. Astralis looking like they were going to close it, but Cloud9 starting to get a little bit of control in this, well, comeback situation. There's the 9th one versus just the Pistols. We were just giving praise to Golden because he has caught up to Timothy Taw. 44 frags between the two of them. And now we'll have them buying fully, op included. Astralis, well, they've still got some decisions to make.
Yeah, the first half was kind of all about Banana, and Cloud9 started off with a 4-1 lead. Astralis won 5 rounds in a row, became on fire, and then from there, confidently closed at the half. And in the second half, it's been kind of about Banana as well. Cloud9, though, playing a lot more passively and still looking very confident. So we'll see if they can continue that trend. There is Astralis, who are actually on back-to-back saves. So they've only had pistols in the last round. This round, they upgrade on a couple of pieces of armor, and apart from that, just mainly CZs. Automatic has been a key player for Cloud9 here on the CT side. Will be forced out of his position in Arc, but he's got back up and also turns around. The 180 shot with the op.
Nice. Cajun not only helping out on Arch, but then turning back around, sectioning off the lane play, which is still remaining for the time being. Debris dropped by the headshot of Cajun. 3K for him here in the anti-eco. Again, just serving as a pillar on that A-site defense, keeping his head on a swivel. And keeping Cloud9 within striking distance. We're talking a 5-round difference.
Sure, it's a and it's a brand new lineup. It's a little late to do it. They do like playing Astralis on Inferno for whatever reason. The last match they did play at Copenhagen was a close one, different lineup, but still, I think they've still got a good read on what Astralis like to do, and it's clear Astralis are struggling to find this last round. So now we're gonna have Automatic crossing mid one more time, and again, his aggression has put so many rounds together in a row for Cloud9. And he does find a small opportunity, but misses the actual shot, and this results in a reset, a bit of a stalemate, as Astralis are back to working on Banana as well as Halls.
I can't help but think to myself, like, at what point are Cloud9 going to realize how close they are to pushing this to 15-15, and then maybe start playing a little more scared? Because some of the first opening kills they've been using to make this comeback happen have been super confident. Automatic walking down middle with zero support. You know, those sorts of plays, you make that when you're down by 10 rounds and your opponents have map point, but do you do it when you're within 5? Tends not to be the case. So now as they face a 4 versus 5 on top of that, we're going to see if Cloud9 can really work under pressure.
A lot of space created for Astralis, and they have the man advantage, which is a sight for sore eyes. And if you're an Astralis fan, they have failed to do that for 2 or 3 rounds in a row now. Magisk will create some chaos over at B, throwing a standard set of utility. It could look like a cheap fake. It could mean something to Cloud9, but they've been happy to keep just Vice on that site.
There we go. Rush is going to put out the flames. So now they know he's in there. He is going to swing out wide with just 1 kill so far. A second, possibly the third. He just has to hit Zipex, but he's going to buy time because that double rotate is coming over as fast as possible. And with 20 seconds, they're going to prioritize plant. Rush doesn't make his move, but won't even be given the chance. As Magisk puts him down, the immediate kill onto Golden, and it falls on the newest member, Vice. Man may lack experience, but does he lack the skill? He's got a player already pushed past him in the smoke. We've got Device in moto.